YouTube, this is Gemmy in transit, and as you can see today, I have to review the 2007 Sam's Club Carriage Hearse with Reaper. Had to, go look in there a little bit and read it because most people just refer to this as the Sam's Club Carriage, which rightfully so. This was sold at Sam's Club, and it's really the only thing like it. There were several variations, but this one is one of the most unique. I found this off of Marketplace roughly, probably 4 or 5 months ago. And I snatched it right up. I think I got it for 150 bucks, which is not bad at all. It was between 150 and 180. I paid somewhere between there, probably closer to 180, which I would have liked to pay a little less, but I can't complain seeing as this thing is so hard to find in the condition that you will see it is in. So the box here, one of those larger boxes. I do believe the haunted house boxes were perhaps a little bit bigger. However, I don't own one, so I can't really attest to that. But it's got some creases, some creasing and stuff here. The camera really magnifies that. But for what it is, the box is really not in too bad a shape. It's a little bit dusty here, which is good. Means it was stored inside, hopefully. The lady said it was. So I try to take people's word on that because there's really no way to know. So like I said, for its age, the box really could be in, worse a shape. And it's got the handles on the side here, which I think is pretty cool. It's really the same all around except for the back, which has the 1, 2, 3 setup guide, all that stuff. So opening it up here, zoom out a little bit. You can see it really is in pretty decent shape. It inflates fully, has no problems. It did the rub test, you can hear the fabric is pretty crinkly. And it's put some, effort into it there. It's not wearing from what I can tell. And even all the base legs are there. She said it was used indoors for a party or something to that effect, maybe once or twice. And then I think she said she used it outside for a couple weeks. And ever since then, it's been in storage. The plastic it is clear, however, it is dirty. Just take a cloth to that. So, a washcloth or some paper towels with a little bit of light, mild cleaner on it. So we're gonna get this out of the box and I will get it inflated. All right, so I just took the liberty of inflating it before I recorded, just for the sheer fact of how long this thing takes. With a single 125, and like I said, fairly sure it's not wearing out after, doing the rub test and, feeling the fabric and all that. With how tight it inflates as well, I just think a 125 is not quite enough for that back portion there. But I am absolutely not complaining because this thing is absolutely amazing. I have 100% confidence in saying this is one of, if not the coolest Gemmy Halloween inflatable that I own. There is clear plastic. It is double-sided. You can see, I'll give you a shot inside there. It's got silicone, well, I guess it's more of a plastic. You see, got clear plastic here and then hard plastic on his face. It's animated. It's got strobes inside, like legit strobes. You can see, that's what I was talking about. It's got some bad water spots, but you see, and after seeing it on video for so many years, I will admit that I would have expected the strobes to be a little bit brighter, but this is by no means a complaint, just because we don't even see inflatables that have this level of detail anymore, let alone strobes. And one thing I should mention is that I always have seen the ones that, of these that are worn, the horses just don't stand up, I don't think. So it's cool to have one where the horses stand. Another reason it's not wearing, I don't think. You can see the fabric just looks really good. I'll give you a shot around it there. It is just pretty dirty in a couple spots. And I think it had one little pinhole right there, not even that big of a deal. Give you a shot there. Little rip. Not that big, not even, you literally saw. Anyway, just got some dirt there. Just could use a good cleaning. But yeah, the horses stand. It animates just fine. The colors are fantastic. Zoom in there a little bit. There we go. Like I said, colors are fantastic. Interesting thing, I actually thought that these tires didn't, or the wagon wheels rather, didn't inflate all that well. And they don't. But the reason being is because behind here is the actual wheel itself per se. And these dirt spots are just bugging the hell out of me. But anyway, so this is actually like a piece of fabric on top of another piece of fabric. So if you push in, you stop, and there's a piece of fabric that inflates much tighter. So this is just pretty loosely put on here. So that's why that part doesn't inflate well. I'll give you a shot of the animation. Well, there he goes. I think the fact that there's like a whole ass coffin inside there is just so cool. I mean, this thing might as well be an actual hearse. Pardon me. Oh, there he goes. He gets up just fine. His head just leans a little bit. I've helped it up a couple times and it does okay. So we'll turn out the lights here. At least these ones give you a decent idea of what it looks like in the dark. Well, yeah, you know what? We'll turn off these two. And over here. Is that the right one? Nope, not the right one. So here's the thing. I can't necessarily, I think, decide how well this thing lights up, just for the sheer fact of I think it does have bulbs out. I mean, as you can see, there's one horse here that lights up fantastic. At least the head does, and this one's just not lit at all. But when I shake it, I think I hear a bulb case in there, so I'm fairly certain there are bulbs. So I can't necessarily judge. But the strobes are not very bright, but they add a really cool touch. And these water spots, we're just gonna get a cloth to afterward. But other than that, I really don't know what I can say about this thing that hasn't already been said because of how absolutely amazing this inflatable is. Like I said, marketplace for $150, I would say almost $180. And I don't regret a single bit of it. This thing is absolutely amazing. I don't know where I'll use it, but I will say that it perhaps would be a good Halloween night item, just because I don't want this thing to see much use. But I think it is absolutely amazing. And there's clear plastic. Oh, no, there isn't on the back. Well, but you see, there are even details here. There we go. There are even details here. You got the doors to the back of the hearse there. One thing, is there anything else I should mention? Well, I guess the height. It's more or less, I would say, about 8-ish feet tall, maybe 9 feet. I think my ceilings are 8 feet, so maybe it's a little under 8 feet. So something really interesting. Okay, I did remember something. Let me pause it for a sec so I can open this zipper. So I just went ahead and opened up the actual bubble part of it, the carriage, the hearse part of it. I just unzipped it there. So I did this prior to help deflate it the first time I inflated it, and notice there's a zipper down here. So I'm like, oh shit, I don't know what this goes to. So I opened it, and come on, there we go. There is a sealed, well, yeah, I guess it would still be sealed in the bag. It looks like a speaker. I'm actually not going to take it out just because I took it out the first time and spent about 10 minutes trying to get it back in. It's actually quite a bit of a hassle. So it's not a speaker. So I thought it was. It's got the mesh there, like speaker mesh, speaker grill. So I was like, yeah, I was pretty certain this thing didn't have a sound box from everything I've seen. So anyway, I guess while it inflates again, so what it is, from what I understand, everything that Chase the Inflatable God has informed me, I would not recommend a better person for advice on stuff like this, especially wiring and electricity. From what he's told me, that is actually just this, I think it is the circuit board for the strobes. You can get a good glimpse of them there. And I guess what they used back then was they just, shared parts. So it does indeed use the case of a speaker. However, it is not a speaker. Another thing I noticed with ones of these that don't work is, you can see it's just inflating again, that the center section, I guess the frame of the actual carriage doesn't inflate well, or it sags on ones that are wearing. So it does. The only thing is it does take a pretty unreasonable amount of time to inflate back up again. This part takes maybe 2 minutes, which, isn't horrible, especially compared to that 12-foot globe over there. You can see the box is just destroyed, but that thing, while it does get up for the most part, it does take, I would say it probably sets a record. That thing for me took about 30 minutes to inflate. Anyway, but I digress. This thing is really cool. We're gonna wait for it to inflate again so I can give you one more shot of it. Pull it up here. That's worth mentioning too, is it does have the same straps that the original globes do. This thing is 2007, so it'd be about right. So these are non-detachable. These are how they come. So you got it on all 4 sides here, and it's actually quite nice. I just kind of loop them over themselves before I get it back in the box. So you can see it's most of the way up, so it doesn't take a long amount of time. Something also really cool, I mean, just so much attention to detail. On the top there are you can see bars that go across the actual, I guess, the trim of the carriage that help keep that trim up, you know, just sort of accents. So really, really, really cool. And while it inflates the rest of the way here, I think it even helps a little bit when the guy inside inflates. That could just be an imbalance of pressure. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll mention that. And that's the thing, is I can just go on and on about this. Like, the details are just absolutely incredible. I forget the gentleman who designed this inflatable. I'm sure someone can tell me in the comments, but trying to get behind it here, is that there are just details on every single side of it. Every angle, this inflatable has details, which I think is so, so, so cool. So anyway, folks, this would be the review of the 2007 Sam's Club exclusive Gemmy air-blown inflatable animated carriage hearse with horses. So, well, thank you guys for watching, and I appreciate it, and we will see you in the next one.